Spider-Man!
Hey!
Hi.
Let's talk about it.
Weirdos.
The excitement. It just left my body. I couldn't help it.
Now that everybody knows, you don't really have to hide or lie to people.
For the record, I never wanted to lie to you. But this isn't about me. This is hurting a lot of people. I've just been thinking about how to fix all of this. When Mysterio revealed my identity, my entire life got screwed up. I was wondering if maybe you could make it so that he never did.
The entire world is about to forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Wait, everyone? So MJ's gonna forget about everything we've ever been through?
Stop tampering with the spell.
What just happened?
So,
It was so good.
Chef's Kiss. That movie for all, what was the runtime? Do you know?
2 hours and something.
Was it just 2 hours and some change? I guess.
Yeah.
So the whole time we were in there, you know how you watch? Well, you'll go to see some movies and it's like it's good, but at some point you're counting down like how much time is actually left.
Yeah.
Not one time during watching this movie did my mind ever think like, oh, it's almost over or it's about to be over or like how much time is left.
Right.
Because I'm like, no, keep going.
Keep
Right.
going.
Tell me everything you want to tell me. I'm here. I'm listening. I'm all yours.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So good.
Yes. So good. So. I don't know where to begin.
So
much
right
to
off the bat.
Right off the bat.
So full disclosure, I have never seen Daredevil. The only Daredevil I'm familiar with is Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
And I vaguely remember that movie itself. So, when he made his appearance, the theater went up, honey.
Yes.
Except for me. I'm like, who is this man with these glasses? I was kind of like, okay, yeah, I guess I understand who that is. But then I still wasn't excited because I had no idea what that implies. Like, does it just mean that, okay, now he's in the MCU, or does it mean something more important?
I feel like it implies a lot, and not that I'm aware of, like, I don't know everything, but yes, he's in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know if they're going to make the series that he was in canon for the MCU, or if they're going to retell his entire story, but I think people really enjoyed, at least I really enjoyed his version of Daredevil, so it's nice that they kept him because, you know, the whole Netflix and Disney, their agreement fell apart when Disney got their own streaming service.
Right.
And so that's why Netflix canceled all the shows. And it was just like, no, but they're part of our universe, right? Because I feel like in some of the shows they made reference to like, oh, the green guy, or they kind of made reference to it. So it's nice that...
Yeah, and I've also not watched any of the Marvel TV shows except for Luke Cage.
Right. So I don't know if
the first season of that. So.
It's like, does this mean you're going to bring all these people back? Or is it just something you saw in Charlie Cox that you want him to be in the MCU? But... the moment when that breakthrough came through the window and he immediately caught it, and they were like,
how did you do that?
He's a very good lawyer.
He's a very good lawyer.
It was funny because when that happened, or when they revealed him, and I was like, that's Daredevil. And she was like, I know. It's like, he's a lawyer. She's like, oh.
I had no, when I tell you, I had no concept of like who this guy is. I did not know his day job. I had no idea. So I was like, oh, that makes sense for him to be there. Yeah.
I was hoping we were going to get a little bit more of him and not just that little clip.
No, they said we didn't get a taste.
They were just like, boop, that's
they were like, we want y'all to know that we know too.
Right.
Here you go.
That's it. And I noticed that the scene that we saw him in was not what we saw like in the trailer or what people suspected in the trailer. Like in the trailer, there was like this whole scene where like Peter was sitting at the police station. He was like, I didn't do this, and he was looking around. And that exact scene, I don't think happened in the movie.
He was just in that interrogation room.
Right, because there's one part where like some guy's arms going down, and everyone assumed that was going to be Charlie. So unless I blinked really quick and that did happen, and it wasn't Charlie, or that scene wasn't in there.
I
missed that if it did happen.
Okay.
I missed it.
We were all asleep with that.
Right, so it's like another thing with them doing a little misdirection, on us. But
okay, so just real quick, from what I vaguely remember about Daredevil, he is a lawyer. Did he like get mugged or something that caused him to go blind, or was he born blind?
No, so there was an accident when he was a kid. Well, from the version that I know, from the series, there was an accident when he was a kid where there was some type of chemical that was on a truck, and there was an accident, and the chemicals got in his eyes.
And so, like, in Ben Affleck's version, didn't his, like, wife die? Like, some people killed his wife? Or girlfriend?
I don't remember anything.
So
about that
why
movie.
does he fight crime, and what is the crime that he's fighting? Who he committed?
From what I know in the
show,
the Netflix version, he had to learn how to use his other senses to get around because his dad, I believe, was a boxer.
Okay.
And he had to be, like, he was left alone a lot. So he had to learn to fend for himself. Mm-hmm. So I think his sense just became really heightened.
Okay.
And then he met someone that taught him the training that he has, the martial arts training that he has. I think just through that, he wanted to learn to help people with his senses and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure I'm leaving stuff out, but I think that's the gist of it.
Okay. I thought he was, like, trying to avenge something, and he was, like, after a certain group of people. Like, I'm only this daredevil person because they did me wrong, and I'm going to take them down. But everything else, I'm not fooling with.
No, I'm trying to remember.
I do be making stuff up in my head that I feel is true. So.
What initiated?
Yeah. Because he has his friend that works with him that's a lawyer as well. And there's another character that comes in where they help her out.
Okay.
And that leads to other stuff. I do think eventually he does meet someone, or he comes in conflict with someone where it's like, I need to take this person down.
Maybe I'm thinking of the Punisher.
The one that killed
the Punisher. Yes, they killed his wife.
Okay.
His family. Yeah.
I'm confused.
I still love that movie too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it,
and I loved the TV show as well. It was good. I didn't finish it, but it was good. What's his name? John Bernthal was, like, perfectly cast for it. Like, when you think, like, yeah, that's him. That's supposed to be it.
I have to watch it then.
So that's one character. If they're going to bring the Punisher into the MCU, I hope they cast John again because he was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatchamacallit told. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
but back to Spider-Man.
I was gonna say I did not mean to go off the Daredevil tangent, but I just was trying to understand.
But it's funny, but to say that, you're gonna add that in there, and also thinking about Hawkeye,
exactly,
and how they're like we've got this
right. We saw Kingpin.
And when he was swinging in the beginning through New York and stuff like that, they had the posters up for Rogers the Musical. So I was like, okay, so that's the time that we're in. I saw like on front of the theater. I saw Rogers the Musical. I said,
I missed it. I gotta go back to the theater to go see it.
Boom.
Yes. Bye. No.
Right now.
I missed that. I missed that.
I was like, okay, so I see where we at. Got it.
Okay.
I don't know how long plays are on Broadway, but
okay. So the timing is the same because it was snowing in the end of the movie. So I was like, okay, so it's Krima.
It's Krima.
Okay.
Hello.
Are we gonna? Okay, well, we only have one more episode of Hawkeye.
Why did I think we were finished? You're
no,
right.
We have one more episode, and I'm like, we got Kingpin. So I was like, does that mean we're going to see Peter Parker in? Is he gonna? I don't know. It might be too much. It might be too much. We got to see Daredevil.
But I feel like that would be just enough.
We're gonna get Daredevil and Spider-Man. No. And see, I don't know how much in
because
the comic
why
books,
would they do that?
Right.
Why would they schedule we talked about this. Why would they schedule the finale right at
I thought we were going to get
my brain's gonna explode.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do?
I thought we would get a little more Daredevil-ish stuff in
the movie.
And then we didn't. But there's a reason, I mean, I just feel like, are we going to we might see Daredevil and Hawkeye a little bit.
That'd be nice.
But it might lead in and them telling us more stuff like, hey guys, we're bringing the show back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're going to retell his entire story or what, but
okay.
Something's happening there and I want more.
So in the beginning, he was swinging through New York and Rogers the Musical was there.
I'm so mad that I missed that.
And
good job for paying attention.
Oh, thank you. Sometimes. I mean, every once in a while, I'm like, okay, Yellow, I see you back there.
I totally missed it. I just saw the Daily Bugle and was like, buildings, go ahead. Why you leave MJ on the scaffold like that?
Why did you, first of all?
She ain't got powers like you.
Ain't never had.
Come on.
And don't like heights.
Don't like heights.
Get me down.
Come on, just let her.
I mean, good for her for keeping her balance.
Right.
No, I would have thrown up and passed out.
Right.
And died.
Well, he might not have died. He would have gone and
He's busy
gotcha.
with helicopters. He wouldn't have seen it. Anyway.
He would have screamed.
We digress.
Or turn around and been like, oh, she's not there. Oh, okay. Go down there and get it.
Sorry. But Anyway,
so yeah, when they showed back to that part, when they showed him the Daredevil for the first time, like you said, I thought there was going to be more of him throughout, if not even the following scenes, like right after when he went to the police station and stuff. If not there, then like sprinkled in throughout the movie.
Yeah, because I thought
that was it.
I thought that Peter was gonna have a little bit more of a legal struggle. That he would need to keep checking in with his lawyer to make sure. It was like they didn't really talk about. Okay, I guess this would be the one thing that was an issue. They called this man a murderer. Okay.
Yeah.
And we didn't see them do anything to prove that he wasn't.
Correct.
Yeah, there was no criminal investigation that we saw. There was no trial.
Right.
So like, wait, how did he get out?
It's like his lawyer came up and said,
release him?
It's like his lawyer came up and said, so basically you got a case, happy, you get a lawyer. And that was the end of it. So that I feel like I guess they didn't want to make that the story.
They're like,
and they just rushed through it.
It don't even matter.
Yeah.
He's not going to jail.
He's in jail.
Multiverse like that.
We don't know what Bell is because whatever.
He's not going to jail.
Right. It was heartbreaking for them not to get an MIT.
I know.
And then what's his face trying to be
Flash.
Oh, I'm his best friend.
What?
Shut up.
When he saw the picture of Peter and the split, he was
like,
no. I've been shipped to this kid.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, that's actually my hero.
His hero.
They said you should never meet your heroes, right? Don't they say that? Big mistake.
God.
Big mistake.
Like, he's
Damn.
about to flip out.
No, that's
And
good for him.
switch.
That's good for him.
Mm-hmm.
He needed that.
Oh, my
I want to say
goodness.
something really quick.
Okay.
Go back to the MIT thing because there was one part where I thought maybe MJ actually got in.
Yes.
And she was just saying she didn't
Yes.
for their benefit.
Yes.
Because
And then for a second, I thought Ned got in. And then, because when he started reading the letter, I was like, oh, he's going to say that he got in, and then the other two didn't. But he was like, no, because you're associated. Like, and thank you.
Yeah, I had a feeling that that's what was happening to them.
Yeah, I just thought for one brief
And they
moment
have them envelopes, you know?
Yeah.
You're supposed to have a packet.
Yeah, if you get a small
You're supposed to
envelope,
have a packet.
it's a denial. If you get the big thing, you're in there, baby.
Right, because they ain't about to waste paper.
Hell, it costs money. Do you know what printing costs?
Do you know how much a stamp is?
Come on.
Come on. That's a whole other topic there.
Money.
For the young ones, stamps are
No, we're not doing that. If that's get out. You can exit right now. But yeah, I agree. I thought that possibly she got in and was trying to just kind of preserve their feelings.
Yeah.
Or maybe even internally thinking like, oh, I'm just not going to go.
Yeah, I'm not going to go if they're not going to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So then all of that led to him wanting to go to Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And
that was funny.
That was a great
She
scene.
wanted to never be born, essentially.
But it was
not
so
literally,
funny.
but
halfway.
you
Like
get what
It was funny because Doctor Strange was like, so you called, right, to try to make an appeal, and he was like, I could do that?
after all of that.
It's like,
he was
sir, you want me to do all this
I think that's
wreckage with
Alicia. I said these children or
These
something like
children.
that. They don't even why would you not even think to do that?
No.
Contest it.
Yes, you can.
Didn't know that was a
call
thing.
them and say, "Hey, is there any chance? What can I do? Peel your
right.
case."
Especially if that's how you felt. This was not a normal circumstance. Even though if you have regular people can do that too.
Right.
You would think in your case you would just be like, listen, come on.
I feel like they'd at least take the call.
Exactly.
Coming from you more than anyone
Exactly.
else, they would definitely take the call.
Right. He just never hit straight. So let's reverse time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's erase everyone's memories.
Yeah, let's
shall
do
we?
that. Let's, all right.
So when he first walked in, Wong was moving like luggage back and forth or whatever. I was curious. I was trying to see through the portal where he was
going, yeah.
because it was like, are you moving? Are you going on a trip? Because you got cases and cases of stuff.
Yeah.
Are you just like moving stuff while the snow
It looked like
comes
he
out?
was,
or-
what is it, Cumberbatch? That's what it looked like in the
Oh.
background to me a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm feeling like this.
I guess that makes sense because now he's the Sorcerer Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
So it would make sense for him to be there for like training and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
That was a fun reveal too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Technicality, okay? Because
Yes.
I disappeared.
And I was actually happy that even it was kind of like a flippant remark, but I was happy to explain that because I'm like, why wouldn't Stephen be?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, Wong has been around longer, obviously.
True.
So I mean, seniority, if that's what we're going on,
Right.
at least that he would get it. But
I mean, you would imagine probably half of them disappeared too.
Yeah.
So.
that's true.
Mhm.
So I was glad that they said that because I'm like, okay, that makes sense then.
Mm-hmm. And I'm trying. Did we ever even get confirmation that Wong didn't flip?
Wasn't he?
Did we see him? I don't remember.
I just
Oh no,
remember
Infinity War when they were
in game.
Oh,
But
I don't remember like if when everyone looked at the
because he left after the fight in New York.
Yeah.
And when did we see him again?
When they came back at the end in Endgame, right? I don't remember seeing who he was. So that was a good night, a good way of showing us that he never.
Yeah,
flipped.
he was still around.
Mm-hmm. But back to her 1 second with Wong being the Sorcerer Supreme. That makes me think that he's a Sorcerer Supreme and he's in a Fight Club.
Yeah.
Yes.
So can Wong have his own show? Because I want to know what he's been doing for 5 years. How did he get to a Fight Club?
I have questions.
Mm-hmm. It's a little Disney series on Wong.
Yeah. Good. Mm-hmm. Give me a little featurette.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If y'all don't want to watch it, I can take a featurette. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But them casting that spell, it's funny how genius Marvel is and how they do this trickeration with the trailers, because they made it try to seem that Doctor Strange was like, okay. Yes. And people were like, it ain't Doctor Strange. Yes. It's somebody else. Because Doctor Strange wouldn't do that.
He would never.
Also, a key part of that whole thing, too, was that he didn't have the time stone anymore.
Right.
And so it was like, should have been like, oh, duh.
When he said that,
I was like, right.
Okay.
It's gone. Right. You sure don't.
You really don't have them. You can't turn back.
Yeah, so, yeah. The only other result or option is magic.
Magic,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But
every time Peter opened his mouth, I was like, why did we not, first of all, the two of them, why did we not have a conversation before we even went down to the dungeon?
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't we talk about what it is that you actually want?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I want these 5 people to remember that is me. Then everybody else in regular world, civilians.
Right. Because that can forget. Just like, okay, no one remember you. No one. And it's like, wait. Talk to him first. Let him understand what this means.
Exactly.
He's just like, no one will remember you. Okay, this one person. Okay. Boom.
Chaos.
So it's his fault too.
It is.
No, it totally is.
Mm-hmm.
You're the adult here.
You're the adult
You're
here.
the adult. This is a high school boy.
Please.
You little boy.
You don't know what he wants.
No.
You need help.
But yeah, it's crazy how in that moment we thought that's how the multiverse happened.
Yes.
I mean, a little bit.
Oh,
yeah, a little bit. It seemed like in that moment that's when people
had a little
started it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So the bridge.
We're
at the bridge. We're trying to find missed admissions of MIT. I don't know what her title is.
Mm-mm.
And then who shows up to the party?
Doc Ock.
Just coming in hot, loud, and wrong. You don't even know who you're fighting, but you're ready to fight. The violence, just straight to it.
You realize you done zapped somewhere and you just, Peter, where you at?
Where you at?
Fighting.
Square up.
That's it. And the excitement from the lady sitting next to me, that must be her favorite villain in Spider-Man, because homegirl knocked me out my chair when Doc Ock popped up. I'm like, okay, girl, you know him.
I saw her do that too.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh. But yes, that was
that was the oh shit moment for real.
Yeah.
It was like, so we didn't contain it.
Mm-mm.
We didn't.
Right.
This is how it starts.
This is how it starts.
When he Doc Ock tore apart his suit and then took over the nanotech.
The nano became a symbiote and took over the legs.
What?
Possession.
But when he I
thought that the little needle.
Right.
I was like, that's your heart. You did.
You did.
You out.
You did.
Aorta, we just started the movie.
Valves.
It's all gone.
No.
And
we just started the movie. And so then my brain was like, okay, so they're going to kill Spider-Man, like our Spider-Man in the beginning, well, Tom in the beginning, and then the other two going to come back and avenge him, and then Doctor Strange going to do a spell and bring him back from the dead.
But that was crazy.
I was confused.
Right. I was too.
But I absolutely loved that Peter could control the arms.
Yes. When he realized that this wasn't his Peter Parker.
Right.
Oh, yeah. He was like, whoa, hold up.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay.
Oh.
All right.
Like, so you know.
So right. Yes.
And then Green Goblin shows up.
Green Goblin.
Okay, so Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Count your days. Okay. There were so many times in this movie where I was like, just kill him. I don't ever want to see him again. Kill him. Because I'm blaming it all on him. Although he didn't ask to be here.
He did not.
He'd been dead.
He was already on the extra plane.
However,
he was on the extra plane.
He was gone.
Imagine Willem Dafoe in a kufi.
No.
With the Panthers.
No.
Okay, I'm coming back. Why would you say that?
You're silly. Willem Dafoe. He's so good.
He is my favorite villain.
Mm.
Well, in the world of Spider-Man, he's my favorite villain.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was very excited to see him. And he plays that character. He,
so well.
Scary
so
good.
well. And he's so easy to transform between the characters. I know
I believe
trying
him in either way.
Yeah, I know that you had mentioned that you weren't sure if they actually CGI'd some part of him to show a difference.
So
if they didn't it was so good.
When he was talking to Aunt May in the shelter, it's shelter?
I think it was a shelter or a food
kitchen,
something like that.
At her place, her facility. It looked to me like he had straighter teeth or wider teeth. I don't know if any of y'all peeped that, but it looked like his face was smoother. And it could be, I was thinking that maybe that was Marvel trying to give a clear distinction that he is not the Green Goblin in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that actually happened. So I have to rewatch it to see.
So either Marvel did something or Willem Dafoe did something to his face.
Just his acting.
Yes.
Yeah. Because when he was full on Green Goblin, I could see more of the wrinkles in his face. His teeth looked like his normal teeth that he had, he has in his mouth. It came out weird. But
there are just slight little differences.
I felt like I could see a distinction between when he was himself and when he was Green Goblin. So I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just a great actor.
So good. After we got that's when Peter went back to Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange had this whole thing figured out how he was going to trap them, and because he said others had come, and I thought it was weird that others had come and he sent Peter out to go find them all.
Right.
Yeah. I would have thought that maybe he was out looking for some too. So it's interesting that he didn't find anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious what he was doing.
Right, and it's interesting.
During that time.
You're a wizard, but you were depending on these kids to use the internet to find these other people.
Yes.
Yeah. To me, that was a little thin for me. I would have believed it if they would have had him out bringing other people too. But
I wonder why he didn't want to get involved.
Which made me think it wasn't Strange. It's not him.
I've cracked it.
There were a few moments when he look and he pop out, I'd be like, it's not him.
Mm-hmm. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
That lace front.
I don't know. Maybe disappearing for 5 years and coming back, something changed him a little bit.
Maybe. So Peter has his mission, and MJ and Ned are supposed to help.
So when Jamie Foxx popped up on the screen, the excitement in the theater there too was great.
I was so I think that a lot of people leading up to the movie had said that he was going to be in it.
I knew he was going to be
whether
in it.
People had confirmed it or whether Marvel had confirmed it or not. People were like, yes, he's going to be in it. But I still didn't believe it until I want to say it was last week or the week before, he posted something on his Instagram, and it was I don't think it was a picture. I think it was a picture of lightning or rain in the sky or something like that. Like just a random picture. But the hashtag said something about, I think, his character. Something insinuating that it could be him. And I was like, well, dang it.
And see, I think a week or 2 weeks ago, Marvel did a featurette that had the villains. And they had Alfred, Molina, Willem Dafoe, and Jamie Foxx. And I'm like,
Thanks.
Oh damn! I'm the one who succeeded in not.
You're the only one.
I didn't want to see it. I didn't ask for it,
Right.
but it was there, and so I was like, "Why the hell would he ain't?" So I was mad about that. But you know, that had been rumors, you know,
That's
pretty
true.
much for a long time.
Yeah.
I just didn't want it to be confirmed until I got in the theater and saw him.
Very true.
But it was still a nice reveal.
It
for
was.
him.
It was.
Um,
I did not go back to watch that Spider-Man because I was not interested.
Yeah.
I hate that
mhm.
that Spider-Man. But I was not I couldn't remember how his character was in the movie. And so the swagger that he had in this movie, I'm like, I don't remember him being that way in the one he was in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I couldn't decide if I liked it
Mhm.
or if I didn't care, because in the one with Andrew Garfield, didn't he die? Or did he did they just take the power from him or something?
I don't remember, honestly. I was supposed to go back and watch all of those before this and totally forgot all about that.
I just knew I wasn't going to watch that one.
I forgot all about the Sandman.
Yeah.
Completely forgot.
Mm-hmm. So I'm
So
curious,
that was
if he didn't
surprise.
die in that one, if Jamie didn't die in that Spider-Man movie, what has he been doing this time to create the swagger that he has?
I think he was going to die because I remember once Spider-Man used the device that Doctor Strange gave him and zapped them into those boxes. The Sandman was telling everyone who died.
Oh,
and
that's
they all
right.
were talking about, I was standing there, and then I was
He
here.
was saying, I was probably about to die.
He
or
was
something.
like,
He said,
man, that was me. I was doing it, and then I was here. Everyone was like,
he was gonna die.
He was gonna die.
Got you.
So
Okay.
I think maybe he may have died. But
So this was just like a choice that he made. For
I
the
think so.
character.
I think him saying that he felt different when he got here. And he said, "Oh, I got my body back." So he didn't have his body.
Yeah, he was just pure electricity.
Yeah, so he's like, "Oh, I got my body back," and something in that universe made him different. He said,
That's
and
good
I
to
loved. They did poke fun of him. They were like, "Hey, didn't you have a comb over and all this other stuff?"
Funny.
So I feel like that was also Marvel's way of calling out, as in that version of the character does not work in this version. So in our
We want
version,
him to be cool.
right, we want a different person. So I think that was just what they were trying to do to handle why he was different.
So yeah, I don't know how I feel about the character choice.
Right.
Because the character prior to him becoming, I don't remember his villain name. The character prior to that was very nerdy and to himself, that kind of thing. So it was like, yeah, I guess that explains his demeanor because he's in a different universe.
Right. And he didn't want to leave because he liked who he was there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like, if I go back to that one, I'm either going to die or I'm going to go back to being that guy.
That's
and I
true.
want to.
That's very true.
I got here.
You see it.
I can see. I don't need the glasses.
You see the body.
My body though.
But the body.
He said, "Y'all gonna just act like I ain't butt naked."
I ain't
out
naked.
here?"
Right. Peter was like,
Look away.
But Sam was like, yeah.
Because like same.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I just want to throw in, I really liked, you were talking about how they made mention of his old look and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like how they did callbacks in this movie, but it wasn't, even though they did quite a few of them, it wasn't in a cheesy, corny, it just made sense for the scene and for the movie.
I mean, there were some parts I feel like that could be seen as maybe cheesy or corny, but I feel like it had to be.
Yeah.
There are some moments where it's just like, we can't not address this.
Yeah.
It has to be said. But also, it's Spider-Man. I feel like there's a little bit of cornball to Spider-Man.
Yeah, you
so
do.
It needs to be there.
You do really suspend reality.
Yeah.
And
so
just let it happen.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
What's funny though is like I didn't get any cheese watching it.
No, I enjoyed every moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
There
was not a single part of it where I was just like, y'all.
Yeah.
We get Jamie.
So we get Jamie, we get Sandman, they're all in there.
We already had the lizard guy. So was Doctor Strange getting the lizard guy? Because he was already in there.
Oh yeah, I haven't had the lizard guy get in there.
I feel like he might have said something, but I don't recall the story. Because it was like Lizard, Doc Ock, Sandman, and then Jamie.
Yeah. So maybe Doctor Strange should get the lizard. I don't remember Peter coming into contact with him that way.
Because then they were all like, "Oh, you can talk," and
yeah. Okay, so maybe that was
got that one.
He said something. One. He said something about fighting with the lizard in the sewer.
Doctor Strange did?
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so he got
he was
one to Peter's 4.
Yeah.
He got
Right. Exactly.
So they got in there, and then that's when Doctor Strange came in with that box
Yes.
and was like, "I'm gonna trap this in here, press this button, and they're all gonna go away."
Mm-hmm.
So this is one problem I guess I just had with, I'm like, all of this was Aunt May's fault, because
was it not?
all of it was her fault, because yes, what's Willem Dafoe's Goblin? What's his character's name?
Osborn.
Okay, there it is. Okay, so when Dr. Osborn went to see Aunt May,
Yeah.
and she cared for him, she felt sorry for him. Okay, I'm sorry, but this man is not from this universe. Whether he's good or bad, he can't stay here. That's just how the universe works. But we also are telling you, he is a villain. He is a bad man. He kills people. If they want to let him live in his other universe, that's their business.
That's on them.
He has to go.
He has to go back.
He has to go back. So her getting into Peter's mind, saying that we have to help them. We can't send them back. This is what we do. That made him not press that button, or allow Steven to press the button. And the button needs to be pressed.
From jump.
Granted,
we wouldn't have a movie and it wouldn't be awesome. But also,
still,
Aunt May, hush.
It's her fault. Just how everybody want to try to blame Thor for not going for the head, or blame Peter Quill for not for losing his cool, and
Me on that one too.
just like, you want to blame them, we gotta blame Aunt May. It's her fault.
100%.
100%.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Well, it's her fault
Mm-hmm.
for convincing Peter to try to save them.
Mm-hmm.
It's Spider-Man or Peter and Doctor Strange's fault for even messing with.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%, 1000%.
Oh, there are fault treats to pass around.
Yes.
You get a fault, you get a fault, and you get a fault.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Everybody's to blame.
Because you couldn't get into college. Because you couldn't get into college.
Because you couldn't get into college.
Yeah.
Is this what we come to?
Yeah.
Y'all are so eager to pay them student loans.
This is where we are.
Wow.
So, but that scene where they start to fight over the box, first when he pushes him, astral projects him out of his body.
Gosh.
First of all, visually.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
The whole movie, they did a great job. But I noticed, like, it looked like radiating rays or waves around his head and stuff. And so my mind was like, is that because he has the spider sense?
Right.
Or
whatever,
is
the
it
radiation
just
that bit him or something? Like,
right. Or is this just the first time we're seeing someone being projected up close? And so we can see it now, and is it always like that? I don't know.
Because it was different when that happened to Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
When he astral projected out. I don't think we saw that.
The fact that he can still control his arm.
Yeah.
That. See,
and he was out of his body.
At first I was like, oh, is it maybe MJ's messing with something?
Right.
But no.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't even seem like his hand was moving when he was moving.
His body was still present.
Yes. Which...
Explain. So...
Dr. Strange couldn't even explain
that. He was like, this is impossible.
So when I hear people say... and by people, I mean like maybe 2-3 people on the internet. I've heard people say that Spider-Man is the strongest of all of the Marvel characters.
Really? Because
there are like other, I guess, skills or powers of his that we haven't seen here that we don't know that he has. Mm-hmm. I don't know if any of this is true. Like I said, it's them 3 people somewhere on the internet that says Spider-Man is the strongest. But so I'm curious if there are other things, like if that shows that there are other things he can do that we aren't aware of.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's some things that Peter himself don't even know that he he hasn't tapped into. Some of his abilities. I don't know. But I thought that was a very cool scene.
Yes.
It was.
And I want to know how. Like he just swam back in. It was like, okay, I'm done with this
right,
conversation.
He was like, actually, no. I'm coming back. We gotta protect the village. That's insane. I need more. Mm-hmm. I need to know more.
Because it was a very short scene, but it was big. It was major.
But it means like,
something. What is what?
How are you doing that?
And I feel like maybe that has to be something that like true comic book readers know, because the audience didn't freak out when that happened. Yeah. And I think
the woman next to me was like, oh! because he was moving his hand, but she didn't. I couldn't hear her say anything about like why that was, why that made her react that way. So,
but that whole scene of them going through the
mirror dimension.
Oh my gosh!
The fact that he was able to get out of that using math.
And I was like, So that's why math.
So
is
you
important.
can't use it in real life.
You can't use it to save your life right now.
Okay, so we got Spider-Man as evidence. We have Jumanji as evidence. Those are
Yeah.
the only two examples of being able to use geometry in real life. And we're not engineers.
It's not.
I thought that was really, really cool. Doctor Strange was like, I'm the master hero. Like, I'm the one who has the power in charge. It's like, you thought.
You thought.
And again, that goes to your point. I'm saying that Spider-Man is
The
stronger one because mentally too.
He's incredibly smart.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just left that man in the mirror dimension hanging.
He did, didn't
He said
he?
for
12 hours he was hanging over the Grand Canyon.
Yeah,
And Spider-Man was like,
Stole that man's ring and was like, "See you."
that's a robbery. It might be true what they say
kidnapping.
about you. It might be true what they say about you now, Peter. You done kidnapped, you done assaulted,
Come on.
breaking, entering,
Mm-hmm.
robbery.
I'm sure we can figure out some more.
Yeah.
So it's something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's some other things. Parking illegally. That train, the subway train.
That's oh my god.
What happened after that?
So he left, and then didn't he take everybody to Happy's?
Yes, taking everybody to
Yes.
Happy's because
Why?
that's the safest place on
Why
earth.
would we?
Why?
Like, why could we have not worked on solutions to this problem in the Wizard Dungeon?
Yes.
Because you took the wizard away.
You had free reign. You had a whole house.
You could have left them in their cells while
and they
you
could
figure
talk
it
to you
out.
through the glass.
Yes, you could have literally
Or
just
through
taken
the
them
film,
out
whatever
Because
it
one
was.
at a time.
You are talking to villains. What made you think you could trust them?
You know why you took him to
Crocodile
Happy's
tears.
Come on.
house because he needed the machine.
You
Oh,
could
that's true. But FaceTime.
help. There are ways. Ned got the wizard power. Keep the portal open. There were ways to do this.
Can we pause for the cause for a second?
Yeah.
So when Ned was using, what is it, the sling ring? Is that what it's called? Doctor Strange's ring? Sling?
It's called a sling
I
ring?
think it's called whatever.
Sure.
Whatever. I don't know if that's true. The woman next to me again, she had a reaction as if like there's something about Ned that we don't know.
I feel like there has to be. When they were at Ned's grandmother's house and they were like looking around her house, there was like a set of
Yes.
knives.
And they made a point to stop there.
For
And I
a
was
very
looking
long
like,
time.
okay, so what are we supposed to be picking up from this? Because
Right.
this means something.
It means something.
So what is in your family history that we don't know about?
Right. Because she said there's magic in our family.
And it's in you.
So
He ain't tapped into it yet. And now
solstice
his
ain't
memory-
happened,
but his
the
memory-
moon.
The what?
the solstice,
Solstice.
and the moon. They haven't aligned and stuff, so he couldn't type in.
But it's like, okay, so now that his memories just erased to Peter. But I'm like, will he remember any of that stuff?
Let's talk
Okay,
about that later.
put a pin in it.
because
Okay.
questions.
Yes. So he took all the villains to Happy's house
This is just not smart.
because he can help them. And they would all
Trust
be
the
thankful.
villain.
Yeah, they
Trust
would
the
all be
villain.
thankful and just wait
Did
their
he
turn.
learn nothing from Mysterio?
They're gonna sit and wait their turn to be healed.
He did not.
He learned nothing from Mysterio.
Absolutely
It
Trust
was,
nothing.
no
it was
one.
only a week's time. It was only
Literally! I could give him if it had been a couple months, and you kind of forget.
No,
Yesterday,
you
the man punched you in the face and told everybody who you were, and now you want to help some more people. Go sit down and study something.
But I didn't trust anybody.
Never.
When
Not
they
for a
were
second.
working to come up with some way to cure everybody, and they worked with Doc Ock first, he was like the main one I wasn't trusting.
No.
Because he was like,
he was
pretty much like, don't trust me.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Don't trust me. I ain't gonna lie to you. What you say? I cry to you before I lie to you.
I cried to you before I lied to you. But I was surprised the little chip thing, it worked. And he was just like,
The one that I knew was not going to fall for it was Jamie.
oh no.
Because he was
What-
like, I
what's
like
his
this
name in
power.
there? Oh, like Electro, Pyro. What's his name?
He was too cool
Too cool.
to want to be
Well, he was
different.
like, I
To wanna
like
be-
how this feels.
Exactly.
Like, this feels different. I
He
want to
liked
explore
it.
this some more.
And he kept, when that thing was on, he was like, I don't like this. I was expecting him to rip it off of his
Yeah.
chest.
Because, honestly, he was never on board. It was just like, y'all got me in jail, so I might as well say whatever to not die.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't agree.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a feeling that Osborn was going to revert
Oh,
back.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Goblin.
Absolutely.
I was like, we only saw a piece, and then he smashed the helmet. I was like, this ain't the last
This
we've
isn't
seen.
him.
Oh, no. Oh no,
you coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he was over there in that corner fiddling with stuff, I'm like, what you sneaky McSneakerson?
Yeah.
What you doing?
And he later said, I was sitting here watching in the background. There were a few times where I thought maybe he was switching in and out. But yeah, there was no moment I trusted him. No.
But Peter got that tingle.
He got
felt
that tingle.
something. He was like, something ain't right.
He was like, it's one of y'all. I know it's one. I'm gonna zero it in.
At that moment, I thought one of the other Spider-Men are coming in, not knowing what's going on, and they're trying. Then the fight's gonna start, and he's gonna have to explain, like, no, wait, like we're trying to. I thought it was gonna be that kind of situation, but when he put that web on on his hand, I said, oh, it was you.
It was you.
I didn't see you sneaking in the shadows. What is you doing?
He knew. That whole scene.
Oh my gosh.
That was.
I was like,
devastating.
it gave me Invincible flashbacks.
Very
my
much.
gosh.
Very
yes.
much.
Yes. But when Goblin got away, when he threw his little his little goblin thing, and May went flying, I was like, she's dead.
I thought she blew up.
Back was broke.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I thought she was already dead when the glider came in and hit her.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, that's when she died.
That's when she died.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Back was broke.
And
when she got up, I was like, oh, okay.
And I was relieved. I'm like, oh, okay.
Good. But I'm like, she got a head injury. Something's wrong. Like that, you just don't get hit like that and get up. But then when she started talking to him, and then she said,
I was like,
when she said those words, I was like, oh, you about to
That's
die.
the nail in the coffin.
I don't know if you heard me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you about to die. And
I think I said, on the other side.
And I feel like the audience was going like, okay,
yeah, this is it. Yeah.
Oh,
she said, I just need to catch my breath. I just need to catch my breath. That was some good acting there from both of them.
Listen, like I tears.
Yeah.
They didn't fall.
When he said,
I had a lid in the corner.
He said, May, I need you look
at
at
me.
me. Like, stop. Like, I need you to look at me. Will you please look at me?
Like, stop playing.
Right.
I said, baby,
she gone. She gone. And they shot him.
And they shot
Come on, man.
Because criminal.
It's criminal.
But see, this is the thing that I thought in that moment. I said, depending on public opinion, in the court of public opinion, that determines whether you're good or evil. So if it were, a month ago, maybe 5 years ago, it wouldn't have been that situation. It's Spider-Man, even though this whole building complex is destroyed, it's Spider-Man. So what kind of help can we give you?
Yeah.
But because you're now enemy number one, you're just as bad as everybody else.
Yeah.
We're going to shoot first and ask later.
Yep.
It's crazy how quickly stop doing this volunteer work.
Yeah.
Just what would the world be if we weren't here?
First
Just
of all,
everybody take
half
a break.
of y'all wouldn't even be here.
Can we talk about
Okay.
it? The one shooting y'all was gone.
Y'all know y'all
You welcome.
Yeah.
Are you glad to be back?
Jeez.
Are you glad to be back?
But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Like, a couple years ago, y'all would have never thought to do this to Spider-Man.
To Spider-Man.
And now look at you.
Look at you. But Peter. Because, they never ever explained really how Uncle Ben died, right? He's just
I don't know if we've ever had an Uncle Ben in this Spider-Man.
They just mentioned his name, like his
Oh, he had the suitcase.
The suitcase.
Yeah.
So we know he existed, but they never really said what happened to him. So it's like he really don't have no family.
They said in like the first one, like kind of just a small comment.
Yeah, I remember them saying like what happened.
But yeah, by himself.
By himself. Absolutely by himself in this world. And
I kept thinking, and I think that's what made me the most emotional. It was like, okay, Tony just died.
Yes.
Now May is gone.
Right. And
then, you're isolated from your friends and stuff like that because you don't want just you being you to impact their future.
Right.
And the world hates you because they think you're a criminal. Like, I'm not protecting nobody. Right. I'm about to go live in a cave with some bears. It's my business.
In my mind, I could go like, so where's like Pepper or like, Thor or Clint or anybody who could come to his defense and say like, hey, I
can vouch for him.
Yeah, nobody.
Nobody. And I was like, damn. Yeah.
Hawkeye's too busy with
And Happy don't have no clout. Not really.
No, because he got stolen stuff in his apartment.
But
Yeah.
I was like,
Like, Brody, where you at?
y'all know. Y'all,
Where are the people
Brody.
that vouch for him?
Where are y'all?
Do y'all not live in New
Honestly,
York and watch the news?
Yeah.
You freaking
Because
military.
Peter did say that. He said, please go talk to, exactly. He said, go talk to somebody. He said,
Go
so
talk to,
In this movie?
no, he's,
he said, go talk to Nick Fury.
Nick
And they're like,
Fury.
Nick
Yeah.
Fury has been in space for,
he's not on planet.
he's not on planet. Which is crazy. He was like, wait, what? Y'all were just going to throw that in there, like, so who the hell was I talking to? Like,
That Skrull?
But
Yeah, we know.
We don't know.
That's right. We know.
So, dang. So it's like, y'all might want to go investigate that. But they didn't talk about it.
I mean, if you think about it, in the timeline of what's going on, he literally talked to Nick Fury like a week before that.
Yeah.
Because that whole shit happened like a couple days before.
Right.
go talk to Nick, go talk to
That's
Anita.
wild.
Right.
Somebody at S.H.I.E.L.D., call him up.
Now that I'm thinking about like how close all this stuff is happening together, like this is wild.
Right? Yeah, it's crazy. And we're back at Ned's place.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sitting there worried out of their mind. And then he decides,
They're going to go call for
I
Peter
want
Parker.
her back.
I wanna
What
see
is
He was wishing on a star.
what he said, I wish we could find Peter.
And he
or
wanted
where-
to see where Peter was.
Yeah.
Like, where is Peter right now or something like that.
And he just did a flicker. And they were like, wait, hold on.
And when I saw that, I was like, oh, Doctor Strange made it back.
Oh, no.
Forgetting that he had the ring.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, oh, damn. He's about to come and get them children.
Shut it all down.
Shut it
right.
down.
I was like, oh, he got the power now.
Mm-hmm. It's in you.
And so when they
Of
did
course.
that and they showed Spider-Man, I was like, oh, they really found him.
Yeah.
And he's coming and it's like, oh no.
And then I was like,
And everybody
I
was like, somebody was like, it's Toby.
That's what I thought it was.
It's Toby.
Yeah.
And that mask came off and it was Andrew.
It's like-
yes. Everybody went up.
Yes. That was such a cute scene though.
It was.
When MJ was like throwing bread at him and was like, prove it. And he's like, this is enough.
Is that?
She said,
And she's
actually,
like,
it's not.
It's not.
Aren't you
Clean
crawling
that
the
cobweb, didn't you?
Mhm.
Girl was like, can you clean that cobweb?
Yes.
And pick up this bread.
Pick up
Clean
the
up.
mess.
That's not my house.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought that was at first. I thought they were calling him from where he was, from his universe.
Yes.
But when he said that he had been there,
Yes.
and I was like, okay, so that means Toby is wandering around the city somewhere too.
Yeah, because I too thought that somehow he called him from another universe
Mhm.
somehow. But no, they had been there and just
Trying to figure it
trying
out.
to figure out
Yeah.
where they needed to go. And so yeah, did it again, and then Toby come out, and Toby just came out in regular clothes.
Regular.
You know, they didn't try to Benjamin Button him at all. It
I
was just
appreciate
like I
it.
like that they're like we pulled him where time has passed.
Yeah, time has
I-
gone on.
I liked
Mhm.
that.
Mm-hmm. It gave me very much the parallel of the Spider-Verse movie with
Yes.
Morales.
Mhm. Miles.
Miles, thank you. I was like, what's his
Mhm.
first name? Where you had the older Spider-Man too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
that was such a good moment.
and I thought it was cute. Like he had been watching the news and stuff. And he was like, "Okay, I know y'all, but who are you?"
right. It's like but you're not their Peter.
You're not the Peter.
You're not
You're not the
Mhm.
one.
Oh, that was
Mhm.
funny.
And them immediately starting to fight each other. It's like, I'm gonna wed you.
Hey,
You're gonna wed me.
who are
Right.
you?
Okay, no, we cool.
Right.
we good.
Cool.
Human posture.
That was actually very exciting though, because it's like, okay, so how are they
How are they
going
gonna
to
handle this?
like team up? Let's
Yes.
go. What are we gonna do?
Yes.
What's the plan? And so
So they go meet Peter at the school where he was grieving his Aunt May's
Yes.
demise.
He was at school?
yeah, that
Yes.
was the rooftop of the
The
school.
rooftop.
Oh, there was no okay, yeah.
And he sees
The Peters.
the Peters,
Peters.
and is like,
His
hey.
first reaction was like, wait, what?
exactly.
This is two things.
He moved into
Yeah,
that like we got to fight again. Mm-mm.
That was
Oh,
awesome.
man.
But I like that they had that moment together
Yes.
to really connect. And it's like, I get what you're going through. It's
Mhm.
difficult. We can say that we understand what you're going
Right,
through
'cause
because we literally
actually,
He was
have
trying to say,
gone
don't
through-
tell me you understand.
Exactly.
Like, no, but actually
Actually,
Literally,
Do you
my
see what they're
story
wearing?
is your story.
Yeah.
So we get it.
we get it.
But this is also what we have to do now.
Mhm.
So I like that they were able to kind of like commiserate
Yeah.
and bond in that moment
Mhm.
to kind of decide to work together.
do we want just a little bit when they're or Ned's grandmother's house and they were talking about the multiverse and
Mhm.
Andrews was like so it's real.
Yes.
It was like, oh, he had suspected it, but he didn't.
It's cute that he had like the same moment that Peter had. Like, it's real.
Because he said, I was gonna say he said the same thing too.
That Tom had. I mean, they're all Peters.
Yeah. We know which one you're talking about. So yeah, I like that there's some awareness in all the universes of a multiverse.
Yes.
With them anyway, with the Spider-Man. So yeah, so now we're coming up with a plan. A plan of attack.
Yes. Trying to still cure these villains.
Yes.
For whatever reason.
But I liked when they were on they were at the Statue of Liberty and they were on the scaffolding and they were all talking with each other and having that back and forth and when they were talking about the fact that Tobey's Peter can shoot the webs out of his body and they're like, no, I have to do that because I feel like, you know, the later movies they were trying to make it more realistic and no, they were just like, no.
Fully committed to the weirdness. That was another like callback thing that it was like,
and he's just like, and Peter's like, can you shoot it out of other places? And then he's like,
just the risk, guy. Don't be weird.
And the part where Tobey was like, my back.
Yes,
that
part.
He cracked his back.
I'm trying to think of what other things.
And then the Statue of Liberty had
a shield.
The shield.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
It's like, this is a new symbol of freedom, baby.
Yes.
New.
This is New America.
This is 2024. What you talking about?
Which they're gonna they're gonna mess up because that's just what.
Look, say
superheroes do.
Say how you feel.
It's nothing like when you watch a movie with these superheroes and they destroy shit as if.
Right.
Hello.
That was funny.
Like people don't have insurance.
What's his name? From the Bugle.
James
Jack
Johnson.
Jameson. Somebody.
That guy. He was like, they're probably gonna destroy another monument. And I'm like, gonna happen.
Guaranteed.
When has an Avenger not destroyed a monument? It's gonna happen. That was funny when he was like, Peter was like, I was an Avenger, and they're like, good. What's an Avenger? They don't have an Avenger.
You're in a band. I was like, 100%. It's a band. Yes, you are absolutely right. And that actually kind of blew my mind because it's like, it's funny. Only because we haven't seen those other Spider-Men since the Avengers became a thing. And so it's like, well, obviously they wouldn't have an Avengers because they're not in it.
That's not their universe.
So I just love the fact that they don't exist anywhere else but here.
Oh, yes. Andrew Peter talking about Peter
Garfield.
Peter Garfield. When he was talking about his MJ and just the emotion of bringing that up. That was,
Then he calls Jonah and says, hey, tell these villains, I'm here. Come at me.
Pull up. Pull up.
You bet.
And that's exactly what they did. And eventually got their ass whipped.
Did.
Well, they got cured, too.
Well, that was what they said, we're going to go kick some ass. They said, we're going to go cure some ass. And then they cure that ass.
I said, put that on a shirt.
Yeah. I literally said that, too.
I
was like, put it on a shirt.
I'll wear it
Give credit to Ned.
I'll wear it today.
Oh my gosh. That was funny. But yeah, the battle happened. Ned can open portals, but he can't figure out how to close them.
Right. And then that makes me wonder, the other ones he opened in his grandmother's house, are they still open?
I saw
they closed.
Okay.
They closed after they came through. But
I don't know that
he just didn't know how to.
Yeah, they just closed on them.
I see.
Their own.
Okay.
Which I was like, why didn't this one close on its own?
Right.
Unless...
Because the lizard had to come in.
Yeah.
They need an excuse for them to be out there.
They did. that honestly. Just find it all.
They just needed them a reason to come. Just be here on the scaffolding, okay?
Right. And then he accidentally opened one that brought back Doctor Strange.
Yes. Which thank you.
Which we needed.
We needed. It was
we
needed that adult supervision.
We were losing.
You were losing.
Which makes me wonder, like, just for Doctor Strange power-wise, was there any way for him to get out of that, or was his only way getting out was having the ring? Because he's not the Sorcerer Supreme anymore, but I don't know if that's just a title or if that actually comes with powers.
True.
You know?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I'm thinking that he probably would have just been stuck there.
Yeah. He said he was there
portal.
for 12 hours, which made me think of him and Loki.
I've
been falling for 30 minutes.
Always.
It's a great scene.
But yeah, bringing him back at the right time.
When Green Goblin blew up the fucking box.
Girl.
I thought we
It's
had
over.
won. At first, I was like, we winning. We in this thing. We ain't got a couple more
back,
cure.
to press the button.
And we
ain't got to cure him.
Oh, right. We gonna just send him. And then blew it up. And I said, oh, so the sky cracks open.
This is the multiverse.
The world melts away.
Yeah.
And then the madness begins.
Right.
It's like, oh no, but we got a little bit more.
I was trying to, like, when the skies opened with the little cracks, I was trying to make out.
Who is that? Who are you?
Because there was a part where I was like, Thanos?
There was a part where I was like, it looked like one of the Lokis. Like, because
I thought I saw like a crown situation trying to.
Like, it looked like one of the Lokis that we saw in the Loki.
Like I thought it was like the Hulk one. Because there was a big figure that I saw that was wearing a helmet, and I thought maybe that was the.
It might have been, but that's just where my mind went. Was like, oh, it's a Loki.
Yeah.
But I was trying to make out the little things and could not.
So I'm really curious. He was saying that all of those beings, those creatures, were there for Peter.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who you fighting? Who you be fighting? All these people,
right?
Why you?
Oh, that was one thing they were talking about. They were trying to say what was the craziest villain that you fought. They're like, well, you kind of got him.
Yeah, you're kind of dealing with him now.
And poor him, Tobey was like, you in the space?
Right.
You were fighting, like, you were fighting villains in space.
Right. I love how they are saying, but you did this. But wait, but you did this.
Like, you were doing,
and I think one of my favorite moments, because, everybody loves the debate over who's the best Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And Andrew was just like, I'm lame. Like, I'm not anything. Yeah. He's like, no, you are amazing. Self-talk. You are amazing. And I'm like, because you're the amazing Spider-Man. Because you're the only one that gets to be called the amazing Spider-man. I just thought that. I love that.
I said, y'all cute.
Mm-hmm.
That was another thing that I was like, a callback. That was cute.
Yes.
But it wasn't like cringe. It wasn't cringe.
Right. Like, somebody's going to have a problem with this. Some people's going to say it's corny. And my defense of that is, it was needed. And it's Spider-Man. How do you have to have it.
This is my opinion only.
You've got 3 Spider-Mans. Can we put a name on at least one of them so we can identify?
Spider-Man 1? Spider-Man 2?
No.
Peter 1, Peter 2, Peter 3.
Because everybody thought it was Peter 1.
Did.
That's the problem.
Did. And he was like, Peter 3.
That's what's so funny with, like, Ned and the lab talking about Peter. They're like, yeah, Peter Parker.
Yes.
That doesn't distinguish
computer.
them.
That was funny.
Like, somebody just look at the computer.
But it was funny to me too, the count though, because I was like, wouldn't Peter 1 be Tobey because he's older? But hey, this is your movie, Tom. So
yeah, you're in my universe.
Hello,
I'm Peter
let's
1.
be real.
Okay,
let's be real.
And on seniority, Tobey, you get to be 2, and Andrew, you
out of respect. The fight with Goblin.
Oh, okay, yeah,
that thing got intense.
Did.
And so when they were talking, I believe on the school rooftop, Andrew was talking about his grief and his loss and stuff, and how like he never, or when they were doing, they were trying to find the cures and stuff like that. I think him and Tobey were talking about like he never met anyone else and never dated or anything like that. It's just him by himself. He made mention of having just like this rage inside of him, and it turned kind of like into bitterness and stuff like that. So when Peter Holland was fighting Goblin, and he was just like really, really going in. I was like, he gonna kill him.
Yeah,
he gon'
because I'm like, he's going to do what Tobey said. Tobey said, I got the guy and I killed him, but it didn't make anything better.
Exactly. He picked up the glider and was getting ready to, and I thought, I honestly did not think anybody was going to stop him.
No.
I thought that they were going to attempt and get there too late.
Yeah.
And I just knew that he was going to die.
Mm-hmm. But no, Tobey had to be the one to stop him and be like, you can't do what I did.
Mm-hmm. I know how it affected me. I want better for you.
Exactly.
And I thought that was like, that was great in the sense of, let me try to preserve some sort of innocence that you still have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you still have a lot of the world you've been to space, but you still have a lot. You still have a lot to go through, like, as a man, not necessarily as a hero.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not put that on, add that on as something that you have to work through.
The world is already putting you, has a label of you being a murderer. Let's not be that.
Because, honestly, you could really go one of two ways in that situation. You can be like, the world already thinks this of me, okay, so I'm going to show them.
Yeah.
Or you can be like, I want to, show them something different. So that was a really intense scene, and I was like, I don't want Peter to be like an outright murderer. Like, I don't want him to go into a situation like, I'm fighting you in to kill you.
Yes.
Versus like, I'm fighting you to disarm you or whatever to subdue you, but not necessarily to fatally injure you. So yeah, I was happy that Tobey stepped in and stopped that.
But at the same time, he deserved all them lips.
Oh, he did. Oh, every last one of them.
I mean, and
here's your fault.
Yes, here's your fault. Because I mean, I looked at that and I was just like, dang, and I was like, well, is Goblin enjoying this? Because when Peter was throwing licks at him in the apartment, he was
just
smiling.
He loved it.
Yeah.
He's insane.
So I was like, is this like another one of those moments?
Oh, that's like that. You can see how much like the bitterness and rage like really empowered him because he was whooping.
He ain't never fought like that before.
Never.
He ain't never threw no punches like that before.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna get a little web, you gonna get a little trip.
My favorite one though is when he pulls them in.
Hello?
But that was everything.
The back, over the back, over the back.
I'm like, Willem is not a young man.
That's that.
I know, but I was just like, oh, Willem ain't.
But I was like, you can't get back up from
Willem
that.
was eating Fritos on the side. Like that was good. That was
good. When you need me to come in? When you need me to come in? And
you see my face, right?
No pose?
But I was very happy for Peter Garfield when MJ fell and he got to go and get her.
His chance of redemption.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, first of all, Marvel, y'all not going to keep thinking that y'all going to keep pushing these women over the buildings and they going to die, okay? So when he was able to grab her, because I felt bad, that Peter Holland couldn't get her.
Yeah. Man, when that happened, I was like, oh no,
I really thought it was over.
I really thought
it was over.
He can't lose May and MJ.
Can't do it.
So with him being able to get her, that was like, that was good for him emotionally.
He goes back to his universe healed, hopefully, or at least on like the path of healing.
Yeah.
Like he could let that grief go.
Yeah.
And that guilt go.
Yeah.
That was good.
I
also yelled, protect Black women.
Yes, she did.
Yes.
Yes, she did.
You better had.
I know that we're not going to get any more stories of Peter Garfield and Peter Maguire. Like, we're not getting those. But I'm like, can y'all get like a multi-universal phone so that Peter can check in with y'all, like, and just be like, hey.
He needs community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I just want him to.
He needs a support group.
Just let him call me like, hey, Peter, what's up? And Tobey is there to give him advice.
Garfield needs it too.
I was like,
that's what I'm saying.
Garfield was like, I never had brothers before.
Right.
I was like, oh.
That was really sweet.
That was really sweet.
Because it was a sincere, very endearing moment.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And at the end when they hugged.
Yes.
Oh, he's great.
And I was like, I know.
You were in pain now. He's like, yes.
I was like, I know Dr. Strange got to say the spell, but can y'all just a little bit longer?
Right.
Like, just.
It
felt so good.
Can you create a loophole, Steven? Can you create a
Can I put this in my pocket?
I need just a little.
For a moment there, I thought that, Dr. Strange is going to be up there doing his thing, and he'd be like, okay, they can remember. I know the right stuff now. They can remember. He's just like, no, everybody got to go. I thought when Dr. Strange was telling him, okay, this is the spell we're going to do. No one's going to remember you. He was like, the people that love you, we won't remember him.
Yes.
He was like, he put himself in there. I was like,
you're Steven now.
I was like, it's Endgame.
That's sad. It's sad that you cast a spell and you don't even get to remember.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but honestly though, the first thing Peter should go. He should go back to Dr. Strange and be like, hey, so you cast this spell on me. Mm-hmm. And if he remembers the name of the spell or what the spell entails,
he'll be like,
I believe you. I believe everything. Because that's his thing. They're not going to know that he was involved with bringing the world back.
They don't know.
But it's like they also don't know that he's a villain. Or that they don't see him as a villain.
Well, actually, I guess they know that Peter... So, Spider-Man exists. Peter Parker doesn't.
Yeah.
Correct.
So they still know that Peter Parker was there
Correct.
with them. I think my mind has to keep remembering that Spider-Man still exists for everybody. Mm-hmm. But anybody that ever saw him take his helmet off,
they don't know him.
Do they not remember the face, the mask coming off? Or did they see a face and they just don't have a name for him and they're just...
Maybe...
I wonder if their mind's going to try to figure that out.
I know that that's the guy that's Spider-Man, but they don't know that that's Peter Parker?
Yes, I don't know how the mind works like that.
I don't know.
Oh, they'll just be like, yeah, we never saw him take his helmet off.
Yeah, like maybe that piece of their memory is gone. Like, I know Spider-Man saved my life, and that's where it stops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that when he went to, when Peter went to May's grave, and Happy was there, again, I was like...
I just knew, I was like, Happy knows.
Happy knows.
Yes.
There has to be some way that Happy knows. And
yeah. And I really wanted him to say, I'm her nephew.
Or like he could even be like a long lost nephew if he didn't want to say like she raised me.
Right.
Just like, you know, I haven't seen her in a few years and I got the news.
Something.
So they can have some kind of kinship.
Right. Because, I mean, Happy needs somebody, too.
He by himself.
Well,
he might have Pepper,
He's
but I
got
don't
Pepper and the
know.
little one, but
I don't know how often they hang out.
Right.
She live up in the woods now.
Yeah.
I liked at the end how he moved into his little apartment, and I said, "This is giving me Tobey vibes now."
Yes, immediately
so
I was like, he in his apartment.
I said, "We've made it full circle," and he can now. I don't know if this is what he would prefer, but it's like he can live in anonymity now if he still wants to do his Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah,
didn't look like he was.
Yeah, he's gonna get his GED and
maybe some of it.
So, you know, with them taking away everybody's memory of Peter Parker, it's almost like a fresh start for the Spider-Man series.
Oh, so I think my thought was, for whatever reason, I thought that they were either going to kill him off and like I said earlier, kill him off and bring him back in some kind of way. I felt like there was going to be something in this movie to clearly delineate he is no longer going to be affiliated with Sony. And so like we're killing him in Sony so we can bring him fully into Marvel.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know
Sony's
if that.
not,
I was like, I don't know if that implicated
it would have did the other way around. We're killing him in the MCU to bring him into Sony.
MJ and Ned got into MIT. They remember Peter. Peter was going to go meet up with them and explain everything, and then he saw her.
I felt so bad because I understand him not wanting to talk. Another part was like, "But you promised you was going to tell him. You lied. You broke your promise.
You're a liar.
And you're truly alone in this world. Those were going to be your people.
Completely alone."
So I'm like, if nobody remembers him, like, is there even record of him in a school?
That was going to be my next question because I saw he was taking he had the GED book, so I'm like, where are your transcripts?
Yeah.
What would they be under?
How do you have clothes? Like,
or maybe you don't have to have all of that to take your GED. Maybe you can just take your GED and say, I've completed whatever.
You can just take a test.
Yeah.
Go take a class and you
don't have to
that
go.
and you get your GED.
But I'm still just like, where's your ID? Like, how did you get clothes? Like, where did you go put your head down before?
So,
like,
I wonder if you could. See, you'd have to have some record.
Yeah,
because I'm like, I wonder if you could just go into a DMV and be like, "Here's my you have your real Social Security. Like, here's my Social Security number. I lost my ID."
That's I'm just trying to figure out how deep did it go if nobody remember you like this. Do you even have a Social Security number?
So I wonder if it I wonder if it affects people that it only affects people that he knows, not like strangers and stuff. So like you exist in the world, but people just don't know who you are.
I think wasn't the spell. Anyone who everyone would forget who Peter Parker was.
Yeah.
It's not that everyone.
Not that he doesn't exist, but you just forget who he was.
But yeah.
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 But yeah, I think it was just anyone who knew of him would no longer remember him. Okay. Because
I mean, in relation to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well, in general.
Like,
people know who don't remember him.
They don't know him as Spider-Man.
So our first end credit scene.
Yes.
Venom.
Love it. Drunk ass.
It was.
He was down there with Danny Rojas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I'm not gonna bring up Danny Rojas. They not gonna know.
They might.
Y'all know Danny Rojas.
Danny Rojas. Danny Rojas.
Venom.
So I thought that was funny how the bartender
Eddie. What's his name? Eddie Brock.
Yeah, how the bartender was explaining to Eddie about, what happened. He's like, wait, so you guys have heroes here? And aliens do not like rocks. And he's like, no, he does. They took my family for 5 years. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
And then he's telling let's go skinny dipping. He's like, we are not. And then this. I'm drunk. And then gone. It's like, damn you, because we really thought we were getting Venom and Eddie in our world.
We thought we were getting Tom Hardy's Venom.
We did.
In our world.
We're not. But we saw that he left a little goop, a little treat, a little something. So the only question is that going to be Venom in our world, or is this going to be some other symbiote? Symbiote.
Mm-hmm. That's how I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
I feel like, so he has to have a host in order to survive, because symbiotes are like parasites.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to have a host. Is he going to jump in Danny Rojas?
That's what I was just
He's
thinking.
gonna have to jump. That's the first one.
Because if not, he's gonna die.
That's the first one.
Right? I would think he would die.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a question for y'all. So we know that Cletus got his symbiote by biting Eddie, and in turn became Carnage. And I believe that was the name of the symbiote. Like, I think that's the name that he took on. So the question is, the little booger situation that he left behind,
the Venom left behind,
is that going to turn into, do y'all know if that's going to turn into Venom, another version of Venom, or would it be another name like Riot, like one of the other symbiotes that we saw in the Venom movie? We're trying to figure that out. We're not sure.
Yeah.
So let us know.
Yeah, what do they do in the comic books? Like, what would be more accurate for Marvel to do?
Because I know the Venom that we've seen, it was not it was Topher Grace, wasn't
Topher Grace in the Tobey Maguire ones,
was Venom.
No, didn't wait.
Or was Venom? See, I feel like I remember seeing a Venom that was in either Tobey or something, like it was in Spider-Man, and he was like had a split personality.
Yeah. Did it jump on Topher? But it
at
got
some point
back.
and jump back. Maybe that's what happened.
Something. I always forget that one. I feel like I watched that one time and never went back. Why didn't I remember to watch all of them?
Because we were busy doing other stuff.
I'm gonna go back and do it now eventually.
But yeah, so yeah, we're not too sure about that. So y'all let us know. But I'm excited
for whatever they do,
to see whatever happens. Yes, it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be intense. I hope it's intense.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
I'm just disappointed because Eddie was like, "Let's go see this Peter Parker," and then gone.
Immediately gone.
I was like, "No,"
because we knew y'all was gonna be on some bullshit. Y'all was about to start some mess. You can't go home. You take your butt home. You about to start some fights. He just got an apartment. Trying to get on his feet. Rent due on the first.
Right.
Stress.
Damn.
But yeah, it was a little bit of a letdown because I would like to see a Tom Hardy Venom against a Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Right. It still could happen because we still have the Multiverse of Madness coming.
We could have a variant.
And based off of the last end credit scene.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
Call it an end credit scene?
No,
featurette.
First
Look Doctor Strange.
The first time they've ever done anything like
behind
this.
the scenes, like the production value of an end credit.
It's just like first it was like this, a quick clip and then black, a quick clip and then black. It was like, what's going on? And then other stuff, and then a full on like trailer.
And we heard words. There was dialogue.
Yes.
I was like
on the edge.
I think we're getting the first look of Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
it reminded me of What If. He full on goes,
What
If.
That was the first.
It's the live action version of his What If episode.
Yes.
100%.
I immediately was
the little creatures and stuff that popped up too. I'm like, that was in the show.
When he said what was it? Like the only villain or the only
is yourself.
And they showed
oh bitch. Listen to me.
The
theater went up.
Went up again.
Oh, I was stumping my feet. I was so excited.
I know. I was like just shaking my feet.
I was literally
so
did a full celebration dance in my chair. Talk about being excited.
Yes.
So excited.
Saw Wanda. We getting Evil Strange. We getting a little bit of Wanda. We getting
Wanda immediately thought she was in trouble.
She did. She was like, wait, let me
She's
explain.
like, and he's like, well,
I'm not here for you.
I'm not here for you.
We do not care about what you did over there in Jersey.
Westview, whatever.
We will address that at another time. At this time, we need to discuss what's happening
on the now.
Yes.
I need your help.
And you mentioned, is it Chiwetel Ejiofor?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We get to see him. I know that was a question a lot.
Yes.
Because where has he been? He went off into the Fringe.
They made it seem like he was going to be a villain.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it sounds like he still might be.
Right. It's a little like...
Yeah.
Towing the line.
Mm-hmm. Well, he could be a villain against the variant Doctor Strange, but an ally for our Doctor Strange in this situation.
Or not.
Or not.
There wasn't enough. I just saw him and he said some words and I was like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm. Homeboy had the straight backs with the dreads and the
ponytail
and whatever. I said, okay, you've been out here thugging it, huh? Okay, things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But I am extremely excited. There was so much happening in that trailer, that first look that we saw, that I need to watch it in like slow-mo.
Right.
Like frame by frame.
Right. I am excited for when they actually like release it.
Honestly, I was thinking like as soon as we saw it, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna see it." Somehow we just missed it. You know, these last few days since the movie came out.
Yeah.
But I'm like, "Oh, they released this. They have to."
Which I told y'all they were still filming the movie.
Yeah.
So just imagine what's all. First of all, everything we saw could end up not being in the.
Very, very true.
Because that's what Marvel likes to
do.
But
it's like the amazingness of what it is that we saw.
Yes.
What else can you do?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If that's not in there.
Yeah.
Imagine.
There's just so much that's going to happen. I'm just
looked
like
it up, May 6th.
Yeah, May 6th.
I have a remind me.
There's just so because I'm like, this is happening. Morbius is happening. Blade is coming.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much.
Everything at the same time.
And I have to wonder, is it all connected?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
It's all connected. I just need to know.
Yeah,
how.
whatever happens, I feel like whatever happens in this multiverse movie, that's going to set the tone for
really
everything
is.
else.
It really is.
Because, I mean, in this movie, the fucking sky cracked open. Like,
you know something came out.
This,
you know something.
Like, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, he did not erase what happened.
Mm-mm.
So I think some things got out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just how, like, when he contained the spell, they thought that they contained it and that was over, and some stuff got through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
I think all it did was just make some people change their mind. Forget this, Peter. Let me go back to my other
Exactly.
Peter. But there's some people that made it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to think.
Ain't got a bone to pick.
You know, trying to go back to WandaVision and even Loki when they saw time split and all this other stuff. You know, when Wanda was in the end and she was going and she was hearing names or hearing words and stuff, and everyone's trying to figure out, did she hear her kids or something like that. In the trailer with Doctor Strange, he was doing something and there were little balls, red balls.
Okay, so in Loki,
mm-hmm.
when the timeline split,
mm-hmm.
we know what happened to make the timeline split.
We assumed it was
the snap,
Loki and oh girl,
the other Loki.
Yeah, the Loki's doing something.
So I'm like, I wonder if this was it.
We have Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I'm wondering if like that. I'm wondering if like at the end, Doctor Strange like with the sky cracking open, all that kind of stuff, because obviously it's not done.
Right.
So
it doesn't help that they use the same colors. Because when I see
it's
the
not
same
making
colors,
purple for everything
like,
and blue
it's all
for
connected.
everything.
When I see purple here and purple on that one, it happened at the
it's
same time.
It's got to be the same people, same person, same time, everything. It's got to be connected. So don't use the same color.
Right.
If it's not.
Right.
Confusion.
It's supposed to.
I guess. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm wondering if that was the Nexus event, or maybe one of many that happened at the same time. Because
forgot the freaking word Nexus. Yeah.
In the TVA, we don't know what time it is because time is not a thing. So
freaking Kane, man, where's Kane in all this?
Yeah,
he's coming.
When you said that, I thought of Banner saying
he's coming. I mean, he's coming. We got Ant-Man. When's Ant-Man coming out? Because that's when Kane's going to be in there. And when does Ant-Man take place? I'm going to be looking for a freaking banner of the Rogers musical. I'm paying attention. They're not even in New York. They're in San Francisco.
But Broadway be happening there.
They travel.
They be having Broadway there.
They do. I'm paying attention. It was funny. Somebody had a throwaway line in Spider-Man. They're like, we haven't seen anything like this since a thing in San Francisco.
Was that in the movie or was that in the Morbius trailer?
Was it the Morbius trailer? Damn.
I think it was in the Morbius trailer. Because we were like...
Yeah, we had... I don't know when it must have been the Morbius trailer, but we had a discussion about that briefly. Okay. And I was like, oh, I said Venom. I was like, oh yeah.
Because I was like, the only thing I can remember is Ant-Man.
See, it's all connected.
So I was like, oh. And then she said that, and I was like, oh yeah.
I was like, he was over there too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But see, they were talking about...
I think they were talking about like aliens or something like that. I thought somebody was saying something about aliens, and they were like, we haven't seen... That's when they said the line? Maybe not.
I don't know. Either way, they were talking about Venom, not
right.
Ant-Man. So.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But okay, so here's the confusion. Okay. We're going to talk about Morbius for a quick second because they showed us a trailer and it's all connected. Morbius has Michael Keaton in it.
Yes.
That's in our MCU.
Yes.
But he said Venom, who's not in our MCU. Hello? Hello?
Oh.
Hello?
See, that's why I was so confused earlier when I was asking about Venom being in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If he was in our universe, or where is he?
Mm-hmm. So when does Morbius take place? Because maybe Venom has already become a thing. The booger turned into Venom in our universe.
I don't know. I don't know the timeline. I don't know.
Oh,
But sometime it's for sure after the first Spider-Man, because Mike Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I guess it depends on how long he's been in jail. The time that Morbius talks to him will tell where we're at.
Mm-hmm. Unless him saying I'm Venom, that's just something they did for the trailer to mess us up. And it's not even going to be in the movie.
That could be too. I have trust issues.
I do.
I believe nothing and everything at the same time.
I'm so confused where Venom fits in, especially now that they have put him in, mentioned him in this universe. Right. I'm so lost.
But you know what? The thing that also so confusing, remember, in the end credit scene for Venom, he licks the screen. He says, I know who that is. So it wasn't like, he said, I know this Peter. He knew that Peter.
Yes.
So he wouldn't have jumped in our universe and been confused who's Peter. He knew him.
So maybe he was just confused. Did he ask who was Peter? Maybe he was just confused about all the stuff that happened in our universe.
Yeah,
but he was still going to go see. Like,
but he knew.
Okay,
Venom knows our Peter. So we're going.
Is it because
to get him
an
back?
alien?
Yeah, because didn't we read something or somebody told us something about him being able to cross multiple universes. So he's got to come back. Maybe whatever zapped him back, he's going to be like, no, I want to go see that Peter, and that he can figure out a way to come back.
Or if he can split, like go two different universes, maybe he can, like, that little piece of him is going to stay.
Yeah. But still, like, we got to figure out the time, how this going to work out.
We need that chart we're talking about. We wanted one of them string charts to connect. Like, live to here, this time, this person.
Next video, this ball.
It's going to be in a flow chart.
So, beginning of time, God
said
light. Right.
First of all, I just heard what you said. Get out.
Wait, what did she say? Wait, I heard beginning of time.
God said, let there be light. Get out.
That's the beginning of face. And then Thanos.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, this movie was amazing. Everything up. The cinematography.
Great. Talk about it.
Great. The part where the three of them.
The three Spider-Men.
The three Spider-Men.
They had the fight towards the end where they were like, okay, we're gonna do this as a team.
Yes.
We're gonna take them off one by one, and they squared up with the Sand guy first, I think.
So yes.
And the way they just all came into frame, you pose over here, you pose over here, you pose down. Like, come on.
Yes, that was beautiful.
Come on.
I loved it.
Like, the stuff that is obviously CGI did not look like CGI.
No. Sand. Come on. It looks.
When Homeboy was brushing the sand off the couch and it kept coming, I was like, yes, because it would keep coming back because you're saying.
Oh,
it's so good.
The detail.
The
absolute detail.
It was great. Absolutely great.
No major complaints. Tiny little things that I consider plot holes, but they're plot holes because I don't understand. It probably means something later.
Yes.
Exactly right.
They probably did it and it's like, no, just wait for the next movie.
You'll get it.
You get it.
You'll see.
But yeah, it was great. I'm going to go see it again. I have to go see it
for sure. Of the three, this might be my favorite.
Oh, how does it keep getting better?
Because it's Marvel.
And they're all great.
When I can purchase this movie, I will purchase it and watch it.
Can I pre-order it now?
You guys will not get any videos because I'm watching Spider-Man.
I'm busy fighting crime.
Not sorry.
With Peter Holland and Peter Garfield
and Peter Maguire.
Well, y'all, let us know down in the comments what you thought. Let us know what your favorite part of the movie was, because all of the parts are my favorite.
All the parts.
It was really good. And we are gearing up for what's next. What's on the
Morbius.
That's
in January.
Right? In January.
And then Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Doctor Strange
in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
May 6th.
I feel like there's something else in between.
I feel like there might be one other thing.
Like in March or something.
Yeah, I can't think.
I don't know, but if you guys know, let us know in the comments.
I'm sure we got another series coming out soon, too.
Yeah.
That'd be great, because I need some more Disney.
So, yeah. We'll see y'all in the next one.
Bye.